We rely heavily on the hard work of honeybees to get our products to our subscribers. Gratitude is a concept that we fully embrace. Working with and relying on living creatures teaches us to be humble. Living for just a short 6 weeks in the summer and 4 to 6 months in the winter, each bee only produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime. Collectively, however, a hive makes enough honey to not only support itself over winter, but also to have a little extra that beekeepers can harvest as food for people, and of course for skincare and wound healing. Manuka honeybees collect nectar and pollen from flowering Manuka bushes native to New Zealand. Whilst carrying the collected nectar back to the hive, their tiny bodies break down the complex sucrose of the nectar into 2 simple sugars, fructose and glucose. Tucking it neatly into a honeycomb cell, the bees will beat their wings over the newly gathered nectar to thicken it. When complete, the honeybees will cap the cell with beeswax, sealing in the perfected Manuka honey. Here in New Zealand, beekeepers are highly regulated and must follow responsible beekeeping standards to protect our bees. Bees are so clever and we need to look after them. You can be rest assured no bees are harmed in the making of our own natural skin food products. In fact, they are treated like rock stars and given the very best environment to live and thrive off. We choose to source our active 16+ Manuka honey from our local apiaries who use ethical and sustainable practices. This means that their hives must be placed in native vegetation free of GMOs and pesticides. The beekeepers must leave enough honey and pollen for the bees to feed on until the next season, and Manuka honey harvesting must be done without the use of synthetic repellents. Manuka honey is rich in carbohydrates, proteins, amino acids, vitamin B and C, minerals, and antioxidants. It is distinct from other honeys and it contains additional bioactive components. While honeybees may be small, they make an essential contribution to maintaining human health and indeed our survival. Typically 1 in 3 bites of food we eat depends on bees for its production, and their influence is spreading into health and skincare. Now is a perfect opportunity to plant something in your garden or even in your kitchen or apartment that will help you to keep our honeybee population growing. Our apiarist, Will Sillerborn from Whitestone Ridge in Oamaru, New Zealand, honestly loves honeybees, dedicating his life to them. The process of extracting our pure bee venom is done by placing a glass sheet into the beehive with a very weak electrical current running through it. When honeybees sit on the glass, the weak current encourages them to stick out their stingers and pump out a small amount of venom, not removing their stingers. This encourages other bees to follow suit due to the pheromones that are released. The bees then happily go about their business of collecting pollen unharmed. Once the bee venom is dry, it is scraped off the glass and put into our products. Your skin reacts to bee venom as an irritation, as if it has been lightly stung with melatonin. This encourages blood circulation to the deep layers of the skin, stimulating cell regeneration and the production of elastin and collagen to lift, pump, replenish and tighten the skin. Our beekeepers are careful to only remove boxes of Manuka honey or frames of honey that are capped off with wax. This indicates that honeybees have lowered the moisture content of the Manuka honey, as too much moisture will lead to fermenting. To separate the honeybees from the Manuka honey, an escape board is placed under the hive the day before harvest, and the bees head down the tunnel on the escape board and emerge into the brood area. The following day, there are no bees in the hive and the Manuka honey is ready for harvest. Manuka honey is a particularly thick honey which is harvested by gently scraping the honeycomb from the bee frames. To separate out of the wax, the Manuka honey is gently heated, put through a coarse filter to remove impurities, and then is ready to eat. Our Manuka honey is wild crafted and is harvested using industry best practice methods which are strictly animal cruelty free. Manuka honey comes from tiny pink and white flowers of the Manuka bush, which bloom only 2 to 6 weeks per year. Manuka oil is steam distilled from the tiny green leaves, grown along remote and arid coastlines and sun-kissed by our intense UV light, further strengthening and protecting the bush. Indigenous Māori people have traditionally used the entire Manuka bush for weapons, food, hygiene, and potent natural healing. Manuka honey is the only honey with the unique ingredient methylglyoxal containing powerful antimicrobial properties with up to 4 times stronger anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties compared to regular honey. Medical-grade Manuka honey has been scientifically proven and is now used in hospitals worldwide to treat wounds and significant burns. Superfood Manuka honey is the hero ingredient in Natural Skinfood's products, helping to balance our skin's pH and microbiome. Nature has brought this wee bug and tiny flower together to create a superfood that is just as effective orally as it is topically.